to do an interview by popular request, because it's not often that we go around having conversations about delivery apps, but people are having actual conversations about the noon 15-minute promise. We've got mates who are testing it, turning the kettle on, seeing if they can get some Ferrero Rocher. The chocolate is available by the time they've made a cup of tea. And we want to know how it works. Very pleased to be joined now by Ali Kafil-Hussain, who leads Noon Minutes and is also Noon's Chief of Staff. Ali, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. So you're the one who's ordering all the Ferrero Rocher.
And eating all the Ferrero Rocher, Ali, but we're just not going to talk about that. Your 15-minute promise. What made you think in the first place that was even going to be feasible?
So we fundamentally believe it's the future. When we look at how grocery was traditionally done, it was more about, planning the weekly shop. And we still think there's a place for that. But, as time has evolved, customer needs have become a bit more immediate. And we've made it possible. What we do is we have these, what we call them micro-fulfillment centers or dark stores, which are basically small shops that don't have a shop front. You can't go in and buy stuff. And they're purely made for efficient and quick delivery. So, we started launching these stores. We tested it for quite a while and really tested whether this 15 minutes is possible. And sure enough, it was. And now we've started expanding. We've expanded considerably across the UAE. And it's going pretty well.
OK, so how many of these have you got? Because one of the questions I've got this morning, someone's literally asked, have they built a secret supermarket at the end of my road?
The answer is most likely yes. Or if we're not there, we're probably coming soon. We've got about between 20 and 30 now. And, we only started this about 6 months ago. And for like 3 of those months, we were really operating in stealth mode. So we're expanding quite quickly. You typically won't know where these stores are. So they may well be, under your building or, next door, which helps us do the delivery very quickly. So our main goal is get as close to the customer as possible. And then that helps us deliver very quickly.
So what's the catchment area? What kind of maths have you done to figure out how far one of these dark stores needs to be in order to make that 15 minutes?
So it varies because of traffic in different areas. As you know, places like Marina, traffic-wise, can be a nightmare. So we calculate it based on the driving time. Typically, that distance is about a 2-kilometer radius. We try not to go above that, purely for a few reasons. One, we want our drivers to know the exact area very well, and that helps them deliver in the right time. So, for example, down here I'm in downtown Dubai at the moment. Our drivers are literally in this area. They're better than Google Maps. They know how to get to every building very quickly. And it's those small polygons that enable us to do that.
But how do you cope with complicated orders? People who maybe, for example, not saying it's happening, deliberately putting in complicated large orders that they think you can't even make it around and put those goods in a basket in 15 minutes.
So we've done a lot of work behind the scenes on optimizing what we call the picking path in the store. So things are typically in the order so basically on the app, our pickers get the list of items in the order that's optimized in the store. So there's a route that they follow, which is the most efficient in the store. So even if they do, let's say 20 items, the route doesn't change that they go through. So it's not as if they're scrambling around the store. That doesn't exist. So, and obviously we're also constrained by the physical volume in the bike. So, we tend to still make it, even if it's a large order, we tend to still make it within the promised estimated time.
I've got a question actually about the bikes. Someone has asked, are they using Japanese super bikes to do this?
I wish, but I wish we had Japanese superbikes. No, they're normal motorbikes.
What's your strike rate, Ali? What percentage, how often are you hitting the 15 minutes?
Look, sometimes we're even less than 15 minutes. Where I am right now, we deliver in 8 minutes. I'd say we obviously want 99% on time, which is on time for us is within the promised ETA. So typically that will be within the 15-minute range. However, in busy periods, sometimes we have to say, hey, it's going to arrive in 20 minutes. For those unlucky customers, it will arrive in 20 minutes. I'd say approximately 90 to 95% of the time now, we're arriving within the promised ETA, exactly.
And how do you keep it safe? I mean, we've had a bit of rain recently, more is forecast.
Yeah, so obviously in rain, we tell, it depends in different areas. Lots of areas are still safe to drive in the rain, some are not. We tend to tell them to slow down and only operate when the rain has pretty much stopped. So there is potentially a compromised experience then. But yeah, how do we keep it safe? I think obviously there's big misconception about quick commerce generally, globally. There's been a bit of uproar, but it's a misconception because actually we're very close to the customer. We don't do fast delivery or last mile deliveries. What we do is fast. We're fast because we're close to the customer, right? If we're just coming next door to you, it's very quick. So that's how we keep it safe. There's no need for any driver to rush. We've got great relationships with our drivers whereby they're not penalized if the orders are late. They're not incentivized if they deliver it early. In fact, they don't actually know what exact time we've promised. They're just delivering it. And yeah, so it is very safe. And because they typically know the area very well and they know the best route to take, there's no surprises on the roads or something like that.
Very quickly, Ali, I've got 30 seconds left with you. How big can this get? How many of these dark stores are you going to set up?
We fundamentally believe this is the future. So really, I think the sky's the limit in that respect. We think this will be larger than, it's not just groceries, by the way. We deliver iPhones, AirPods, PS5s in 15 minutes, which kind of separates us from the rest of the world and what they've been doing with quick commerce. So it's literally general retail and everything you can imagine. So there's no number we'll put on it. We see demand growing. It will continue to grow. How many of the stores? Honestly, long term, there's no reason that we won't have one in every single street corner. So yeah, whatever that number is.
Ali Kafil-Hussain, who leads Noon Minutes, speaking to us about their 15-minute promise.